All right, so one problem you may or may not have with this sensor, most people won't have this problem. Um, Early on, I did, and I didn't understand why. So here's the deal. If your sensor keeps going off, like randomly, every hour or two, every 3 hours, whatever the case, and you can't figure out why it's going off because your freezer's on, here's the deal. Number one, call the customer service team because they know exactly what to do. They'll walk you through it. They'll do most of it for you, actually. But here's why. I'm not a mechanical guy when it comes to like appliances, but apparently inside these, like your freezer, for example, or any device for that matter, refrigerator, whatever, in your freezer, there is a generator that will, when you plug it in, let's say you just got it from the store, you plug it in, it's going to take your freezer down to the temperature you have it set to go at. And then it's going to maintain. And that generator is going to kick on probably every couple hours in order to maintain that. But the thing is, it doesn't take as much energy, apparently, to maintain it as it does to get to the temperature. So when you plug it in, your freezer is basically going full force to get down to that temperature using more energy. But it doesn't take that much, same amount of energy to maintain the cold temperature, whatever you have it set at. And so obviously, if you're staying, like, let's say at negative 10 degrees, it'll maintain that for a while, but it'll start to get warm. Well, once your freezer hits maybe -5, your generator is going to kick back on and say, hey, we need to be at -10. And so it'll up it a little bit to bring it back down to -10. And then it'll cut off again in order to maintain it, kind of like your thermostat in your house. All right, it wants to maintain temperature. Well, I don't know if every freezer is the same or not as far as the timing and how long it takes to do that. Well, that's this alarm delay section here that I overlooked I breezed over in the last video. That's a little more involved. If you're having this problem, that's what it's probably having to do with. All you need to do is call customer service and let them know. They know exactly what to do. We had to play a few times with this number to actually determine how often my freezer's generator was kicking off and then back on in order to maintain that temperature. And we kind of whittled it down. And so they know exactly how to do that. You might have a phone call to or with them. If this happens, it probably won't happen to you. But if your freezer keeps kicking on and off randomly and the power is still on, there's nothing wrong. This is probably the issue. So just call customer service if you have that issue and you'll be good to go.